Right, hello everybody. Welcome to. Now I won't be doing banquet event like videos all the time. They will come to a point of an end. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to go over, and we are now finishing the banquet guide spreadsheet. The final tabs have been updated. If you want to check it out in the link in the description. Thanks to everybody with the kind words and support on it. If you don't know already, there is a spreadsheet which I've been referring to, making and helping out. Hopefully helping out players. And I've added the final tabs, right? So we have a nice little opening right here, which then goes into something towards the right. You can, there's a little scroll thing, which you can scroll to the right, and it will take you to boom. The newest edition, which is this topic of this video, which is top tips for the banquet event, 10 tips, which are going to be helpful to players. I'll try to get this out as quickly as possible, but hey, you know, we work as fast as we can. We do have washing up to do and all that stuff, you know. But in any case, let's get into the full minutiae of the video. So kicking things off with tip number 1, and that is stop thinking about overspending or feeling pressure to spend. And as well, overspending on your units for those that are non-spending. One of the key things is that when you look at what is available, like, do you indeed want to go and spend a lot of money? Again, that's down to a personal preference if you want to do that. And the same thing when it comes to units. I budgeted units that I was going to have available for this particular event, and I actually reached that target. I said I wanted 9,000 at the start of the event, which I had, and I grinded those out for free. And then I said to myself that I would like to grind a bit more, so I'm hoping to add some more units into my grind. So maybe I'll add a further 6,000 more units, and that will be 12,000 units total spend for this event, which I budgeted and planned for this. All grinded out for free through the farming methods that I've been sharing with everybody. But don't feel pressured to do what I'm doing. Don't feel pressured that you may or may not get to a certain rank, and don't feel pressure, you know, by alliance mates. You know, take it as you are with this and try and enjoy it as a free event, because there's some nice free stuff available. Tip number 2 is all about getting those last minute amounts of units. As I've said, I've set out a video which you can find on the channel, which looks at some quick emergency starting as of yesterday. You can get by going to grab stuff from arena, whether you're doing some of the trials, whether you're doing the basic arena, whether or not you're doing featured arena, whether or not as well you are doing a little bit of everything. Like for me, I'm auto fighting through a lot of the event quest and getting units by that means as well. Don't forget those lovely solo events that give 25 units a time over 10 days. You'll receive 250 units. It's every little counts and every little helps when it comes to getting those particular units. Tip number 3 is all about free points. Free points over the course of the event. The event ends on 3rd of January, and on the 3rd of January in the calendar, you will get 4 Greater Banquet Crystals, which give you, if you know, Greater Banquet Crystals give you 1,000 points per time. Over the course of the month, depending on how you want to invest or reinvest, you will technically get 26. Whether or not it's through Accolades Event and Calendar, Alliance and Solo Event, and as well, if you reinvest the 3 that you can buy with 1,050 units, you can get yourself some nice points. Very important, because it will set out a grind for you this month and also give you that kind of level of interest in the event for nice free things. Tip number 4 is all about avoiding scammers. The banquet event has been set up to avoid scammers, in that you will be the person that will be sending out items. If you send out items with units, then you will get points. But if you agree to trade with somebody and that person does not trade back, you don't get an item back. At the same time, the other person will not receive any points, because, as we said, there's not a case of the Greater Banquet Crystal was like you had to exchange, and as well, you know, you didn't have to kind of like do part of the process with that one. That worry has been taken out of the equation, and this way it is better. But there will still be people out there that might want to scam. And if not, then just kind of send between your alts and not. But do, as I said, bear in mind, it's very important that you kind of like get as many points as possible. And a lot of people will be opting for just buying their own solo Greater Banquet Crystals for their troubles. Tip number 5 is try not to transfix yourself with the RNG, the disappointment and jubilation you get from the Greater Banquet Crystal. Bit of a weird tip, but it's something that I even need to kind of like get involved with, just going, look, you know, it is RNG. I will be doing a video dissecting the value of it based on the progression that you are within game, but there can be some trollishness when it comes to the drop rate. So a bit of a forewarning on this one. More of a warning is that you can end up with some bad luck from these particular crystals. and what you get back may not be attributed to where you feel you are with the game. So yes, maybe focus on them as the point of you are allowing yourself to get milestones, and those milestones can give really decent rewards. That should be the focus there. Tip number 6 is all about alliance-based participation. Communication is key when it comes to alliance, and talking with your alliance whether or not they are going to be pushing in any kind of great detail. Why this is more so important is that you need to find some boundaries as to how far you're going to go with this as an alliance, and also get an idea of how it's going to be throughout the scheme of the month. Do bear in mind, last gifting event last year, there was 20 mil got position 6 in alliance-based participation. And I think I've got the one from alliance-based for my predictions. Yeah, 903,000 got position 376. So if you are willing and your alliance is interested in it and they have the ability to push for it, there could be some good opportunities to pick up some nice stuff back. It's not as great as a solo event, but it's having that communication to see, okay, how far are people pushing with this one, and don't pressure other people and don't feel pressured yourself to push exponentially far with it. Tip number 7 is all about units and how you look to, with the free points, kind of add to it. As we said, there are some free points available. We've done that we've even just mentioned that in this particular video. So you look at your free points, what you've got. You look at your unit situation, you go, okay, well, if I add the unit spend on top of this one, whether or not you're non-spending like myself, you're doing like a certain amount of units that you've earmarked for it, and you kind of go, okay, well, I plan to have this amount of units to get this amount of greater banquet crystals, and that gives these points plus my free points. It will get me at this position, and that's very important because you have to kind of figure out where you're going to be with your milestones, and at the same time how you're going to be with your end rank. Like for me, I'm currently on 80,000. I haven't touched my milestones yet, and this is really for the video and also another video. But when I reach an end point with this one, a good example of which I've put in the tips on the spreadsheet is that, a good example, I did 20 of the greater banquet crystals, which got 80,000 points, which you can see on screen right now, plus the 35,150 gets me 115,150 points over the event. Now, I could add more to that one, and I could look to my predicted ranks and go, right, well, where is this going to put me versus like last year? Where's it going to put me maybe with this year? And you make those decisions there. You make the decision not to, overdo it with your pushing of this particular event. Tip number 8 is try and have fun. A lot of the time, and a lot of what I've prepared is this kind of very serious look at the event. And it's important to be serious about these things because, look, there's people's units, it's people's money. They also want to have a good time with an event like this. The same way that we had fun with the gifting event, but this time it's a bit different because it's a little bit more safer than it was before. So it's all about having fun and trying to get something good from it. Whether or not you have bad luck in those greater banquet crystals, you may have good luck when it comes to the milestones. And as we said, there's some nice stuff available for those that, I've got some milestones. I mean, look, there's units, there's 10,000 6-star shards, there's more greater banquet crystals, there's 6-star shards, there's 6-star nexus, there's a selector, there's tier 6 basic, there's a 6-star awakening gem, there's a 5-star relic. I know Kaban want to push those things on us. But look, there's things available that are fun and you can interact with, and that's the thing about trying to find fun from this particular event. Tip 9 is accolades. Accolades, again, are another thing that's really important. I've done a video on this one and I can't stress it enough. They're in here at the moment. They're a bit of fun. I really wish Kabam had done a bit more with them, and I probably will kind of, send the Kabam a message and say, look, you could have done something fun. As I said, a bit of a laugh is like slowest to join AQ and AW, which is mine. Like, that's just the thing. But that's funny. The same way that there could be like other things like slowest swiper in the game. Like, give that as an accolade. That is funny at the end of the day. It would be nice to see something different with that. But the event itself is actually spot on. It's spot on because you can send these funny things here, like Grandmaster Little Helper there by implication. Thank you for that. Yeah, you can send them, and at the same time, they go towards a particular event. That particular event gives 10 greater banquet crystals over the course of the month, which will give you 10,000 points. It's where a large chunk of your points comes from for free. So get involved with that one and have a bit of fun. Remember every day to kind of like to get involved with that, especially if you want to kind of get up there or you kind of like, you can't hold on to them, but I would say it's nice to kind of like go, got it, send it. And I would say a quick tip with this one is send all 10 when you get them. If you're kind of wondering like what to do with this event, just send 10. Just straight up send 10 to one particular person. And in each stage, just kind of like go, okay, got it, send it, gone. Like that. There's a little bit of a kind of a problem with the way that it's kind of like implemented, that you may be like expiring on something. It's probably best just send that. As soon as you get it, send it, done. And the final tip is all about pushing the solo banquet event. You have to ask this question of yourself. Of the items you'll receive that you'll push for, is it worth spending more units, more money, whatever, to get further? You have to ask the question and look to see if you don't have the units to push any further than what you've got, then is it going to be worth it to benefit your roster, either for progression, a champion you want to acquire, crystal you want to acquire, and more. So, you know, a good example is it going to get you up to Thronebreaker? Is something going to get you up to Paragon? Is something going to get you a specific champion that you want? Yes, in the Alliance-based participation, there's an Abyss level selector. There's tier 5 class Catalyst selector, the further you go in this. Also tier 6 basic, tier 3 alpha, that stuff, 6-star Awakened Gem, and a 5-star relic. All very important things, all very helpful things to stimulate and improve a roster, whether or not you do it for Battlegrounds or for yourself or other things like that. So look at these opportunities, and will it be an opportunity? Is it worth spending extra units? Is it worth you grinding for 2 weeks, whatever it is, 3 weeks, whatever, to get yourself the units you require, like an extra get 3k units maybe, and kind of get something that's going to be beneficial for your roster. So make sure that you don't go with blinkers on, tunnel vision into something that maybe won't be as beneficial for your roster. That's really it. But yeah, that's been it. That's been 10 top tips for the Banquet event. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the guide. I think this is probably the final guide-based video I'm going to be doing on this. So I think that's a wrap on the Banquet event guide. Link is in the description down below. Go and check it out. It's a helpful thing that I put together that's got multiple tabs, including intro and top tips, most points for free, the drop rate for the Banquet Crystal, Great Banquet Crystal, milestones and points acquiring, event rank predictions, and a 3,000 unit quick spend and how much you get back from it. So yeah, if you go and check out that, it's in the link in the description. I thank everybody for the very, very kind words and support that people have given for this spreadsheet, this guide, and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you very much, and I'll see you in a live stream. My throat is recovering. I should be back to live streaming either tomorrow or Thursday. I thank you very much, and I'll see you later. Check out some other content located on the screen. And one more video to post today, and I'll see you tomorrow for the MCN. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.